I was asked to do a video tutorial how to squat for beginners. So I will go now through all the basics and explain to you everything starting from the setup, which is really important. I see so many people in the gym setting up wrong, and then it makes it so much more difficult to squat. First of all, how wide should your stance be? When you squat, it should be your most stable position. You can figure it out by going down and jumping up, and how you land or the width you need to get up and jump is most likely your most stable position. For me, what I do before I squat, I also flex my glutes and my quads, and in this position, if I can really flex it and if my position feels really tight, that is most likely the right position for me. If I would have a really wide stance, my glutes just wouldn't feel tight. That means this position is not really stable and powerful for me. Okay, now where to put the bar? Especially many beginners start putting the bar straight up on their back. Like this. The problem is, when the weight gets heavier, you will get lots of pain here. Some people start using bar pads, but bar pads make everything so much unstable. I will have a video on this topic sometime later. What I do is actually a powerlifting setup. I try to put the bar here on my shoulders. You can see my rear delts. Here's kind of a gap. And if the bar lies straight here, it will be more stable. So have a look at it. Another thing many people do wrong is a grip width. So they don't hold the bar equally wide on both sides and don't put it straight on their backs. What I do before I start squatting, I measure out the right distance. You can see here the bar is kind of divided. There are two different kind of structures or textures. So that's what I usually use to measure out my grip width. I try to put my hands equally wide on both sides, then grab the bar and then put it on my back. How wide you should grip the bar depends on your flexibility. Women can usually grip the bar narrower, and generally you should try to grip it as narrow as possible. But you see often men, especially heavyweight powerlifters, they don't have the shoulder flexibility. For this reason, their grip is relatively wide. If you have a wide grip, you can actually use these rings on the bar to be sure that your hand position is the same on both sides. Then another point. I see many people who don't know how to unrack the bar. Often they even have really heavy weights here and they have really trouble to get the bar out of the squat rack. They start pulling and pushing and waste lots of energy. Something like this. What I do to make it much easier is unracking the bar with my hips. Because your legs are so strong, why do you try to use your arms and your upper back to get the bar out? Just have a look what I do with my legs, and then you can see how much easier it will become. people often doing wrong is that they walk out with the bar too much. You don't want to waste any energy, especially if you have heavy weight on and you don't want to increase your injury risk. Walking around with heavy weight isn't really good. Just do it like powerlifters do. They usually take 2 small steps when they get out with the bar and then just readjust. Now to the squat form. You can hear lots of different opinions on the internet how one should squat. If you should sit back, or if you should break the knees first. The thing that is important is that you keep your core tight. Try to look straight ahead, don't look down, focus on a point on the wall. And if you have a mirror in front of you, and if you have to squat in front of a mirror, it makes it much more difficult, because when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're more likely to tip forward and to lose balance. When I need to squat in front of a mirror, I just focus on a point on the opposite wall and just look at it. Then I try to stay as upright as possible. The most important thing is to keep your core tight. Depending on your body type, sometimes or some people have to lean forward more, but the important thing is that their core is tight. If you're like this or like this, depends on your body type. The same is for sitting back or starting the lift with your knees. For me, it is better to start the lift with my knees, because if I sit back, it is difficult for me to get up from here. I lose balance, kind of tip forward, and have to get up with my butt first. It doesn't look really great, and it doesn't really feel great when I have heavy weight on my back. For this reason, I usually start squatting with my knees, and then actually my hips follow. I will show it once with the bar. As you can see, I try to keep my chest out. I imagine that I show someone the logo or something that is written on my chest all the time. Then I look forward and I move only my legs. I don't try to move my core. My core is just there to stabilize. I hope the tips were useful. If you have any questions, just comment below. I'm happy to answer them.